All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for sitting here and going over how to fill out, where to locate your homestead tax exemption, and where to send it once you have completed it. This one is for Johnson County. So if you don't live in Johnson County, this does not pertain to you. If you do live in Johnson County and have not filed your homestead exemption, this is how you do it. So the first thing you are going to do is you are going to go to johnsoncad.com up here in the search bar. And then you are going to see the tabs up at the top. You are going to go to tax information, hover over it, and then click on forms. Okay, when you click on forms now, you're going to go down to the exemptions portion and you are going to find the middle one here, 5114 residential homestead exemption, and I'm going to actually right click it and I am going to open it up. You can just click on it. And here's the form. Okay. Now I will say the reason that I right clicked it is because I know for a fact that I'm going to actually need to get back to this page here, and I don't want to go back and forth. And so what we are going to look at doing here is we are going to pull up one of the properties here, and I'm going to go by address, and I am going to put in a previous client of mine's properties that I know off the top of my head. And we are going to go through here and we are going to work on filling this out. Okay. So you can see here at the very top portion, you have, are you filing a late application? Now I have spoken with someone in the office there, and they have said that you do not have to put that you are filing a late application as long as you didn't purchase a home before 2021. If you filed before 2021, you will click yes. But if you filed or if you purchased in 2021, you're going to hit no. Okay. Your account number, we're going to go back over here and you're going to go up to the top and you are going to take this number right here and you can copy and you can paste it and right here for your account number. Okay. Tax years. Whenever you bought the property, it would be for the following tax year. Okay. So if you bought in 2021, you will put 2022 here. If you bought in 2022, you'll put 2023 here. Okay. All right. So you have property owners generally applying for homestead exemption with a comptroller. Let's just go down to section 1 here. Oh, sorry about that. We'll go to section 1 for your exemptions. Do you live in the property for which you are seeking this homestead tax exemption? Okay, if you don't live in the property, then don't file it. Okay. You only file it and check yes if you live there. It is your primary residence. So we're going to check yes. Okay. And we are going to check that we are filing for the general residence homestead exemption. You understand you do get tax benefits if you are disabled, if you're over the age of 65 or a surviving spouse of someone over the age of 65, or if you're a disabled veteran. There's other exemptions that you can get in place, but this is primarily for your homestead exemption. Okay. So we're going to come down here and we are going to look at cooperative housing. No, it's not. Are you receiving or were you receiving a homestead exemption on your previous residence? If you were, you're just going to click yes. Okay. If you weren't, you hit no. Are you transferring an exemption from a previous residence? If you are, then you will click yes. If you're not, you will click no. Pretty simple. Okay. Are you transferring a tax limitation? Okay. Now, a tax limitation most likely is going to be no, unless it pertains to some of these other ones up here. So if you're a general residence homestead, you typically are just going to be able to hit no. Now you can follow up with me if you would like to, and we can dive into if you need to click yes. But understand that if you're just filing your general homestead exemption, you've never owned a property before, or even if you have, and none of this pertains to you, you are likely going to click no. Now, if you own another property and you filed a homestead on it previous, you're just going to put your previous residence and where that county was. Very, very simple. Okay. We're going to go down to the second portion here, property owner and applicant. And if you're single, you're going to hit single. If you're married, you're going to hit married. Or other, if for some reason you bought a property with a friend or your dad, or your parents, then that could be where you would check the other, but just check what pertains to you. Okay. You are then going to fill this out: name, birthday, driver's license, phone number, email address. And for percent ownership, if you are single or a married couple, you will click 100%. Okay. If you are other, if you bought it with your dad or your parents, it may be 50%. That's something that we can check on as well, or I can show you how to check for yourself. Actually, I say show you how. I'll show you right now. So you can see his says 100% ownership, even though him and his wife are married. Okay. So we'll go back over here. Again, just fill it out, just like as if you were at the doctor's office. Pretty simple stuff. Okay. Then we get to section 3, the date that you acquired the property. So you can usually find out this information by going to your last update. If you want to as well, you can click on right here. The deed date is actually going to be your most accurate information. Go ahead and put your deed date. Now, understand date that you began occupying the property. If for some reason you're 1 or 2 days off, or even if you're, a week off, it's really not an issue. What they're trying to make sure of is that, you didn't buy the house in November and then all of a sudden you didn't move in until January, or you bought the house, you had a relocation situation, you were only there for 6 months after it took you 2 months to move in. These are the kind of things that they're trying to figure out with that. So basically, don't feel like you've got to hit the nail on the head, but be pretty close. And a lot of people, if you had a lease back in place, a month lease back or whatever, you just want to make sure that you account for that. So you'll put, again, address, the legal description. You can actually find the legal description right here where it says description. So you can just copy that and paste it on over. Not very hard. Is the applicant identified on deed or other recorded instrument? You would click yes, and you can go back over here and you can put in, let's see, you can put in this instrument number right there. Okay, so you would go and you would put that in right there. Okay, is the property for which this application is submitted an heir property. If you're not an heir to the property, then it's not. And this one, obviously pertains to that. You don't have to fill out this portion because a lot of them aren't manufactured homes. Is any part of the residence the exemption income producing? So if you're renting out a room, right, or you've got a guest quarters that you're renting out, or you've Airbnb the property, you would click yes, right? And you can talk about what percent that is. And then your number of acres, you can find, right, let's see. Sorry about that. It is, your build, here it is right here, land acres. Okay, so 0.7210 is his. So then you would just plug that in right there. Okay, so you get down to section 4, and understand for most of you, you're going to not check any of these, but I will read through them just so that we for peace of mind here. If you're a resident of a facility that provides services related to health, infirmity, or aging, okay, If you are, for some reason, you can check with the facility and make sure that you're taking that into account. If you are a part of a confidentiality program, if you're in witness protection, like let's just say for some reason you have a stalker or you have a sexual assault charge or domestic violence, and you want your property information to be secret or confidential, you would hit this. If you're an active duty of the U.S. Armed Services, okay, there's probably a good amount of you that could be. And so you could click this if that pertains to you. And then lastly, if you have a driver's license that's issued under transportation code section, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And what that is basically if you are a federal judge, or if you are somebody that works for the government or law enforcement and your information is not public record, then you would check that. If you own other residential property in Texas, you list those. Pretty simple. Then lastly, you would put the property owner, you would put your name, and the title, you would put owner. Okay, you would sign it, date it, and then what you'll do is you will come down here to your general instructions, filing instructions, and we can see here how we need to send it in. So I can see, let's see, that you need to, let's find out where exactly it says. Okay, so of course it says file this form and all supporting document with the appraisal district office in each county, which is generally located between January 1st and April 30th. So what I would do, what you can do is you can go ahead and send it in to this address here, right? And if you want as well, just to call and get verification, here's the phone number for the main office there as well, at Johnson County, for you to go ahead and just check to make sure. Typically, I will say it does have either a website portal that you can send this information into, or it will have a direct address or a PO box on there, which is why I'm saying it's probably good to just go ahead and phone that in and just make sure that this is exactly where. But I would assume that this is where you would send it. So if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free. Do not hesitate to reach out. I will be happy to go over it with you. Otherwise, hopefully this helps clear some things up in the walkthrough on how to get this submitted, filled out, and where to locate it. So I appreciate you checking in with me and watching this video, and I will see you hopefully and speak with you soon.